general election. He was also the man in charge of recording the oil coming into and leaving Petrotrin. Based on his involvement in the
No Borders with Garth Christopher. Tune in as he pushes the envelope in talk radio. Listen to him extend the current limits of performance and take you beyond the commonly accepted boundaries, testing those limits and taking you as far as it's safe to go. No borders exceed the existing limits. Now here is your host, Garth Christopher. No Borders with Garth Christopher. No Borders with Garth Christopher. Tune in as he pushes the envelope in talk radio. Listen to him extend the current limits of performance and take you beyond the commonly accepted boundaries, testing those limits and taking you as far as it's safe to go. No borders exceed the existing limits. Now here is your host, Garth Christopher.
Well, thank you very much and a very pleasant evening, Trinidad and Tobago, and to the world, everybody who is viewing Facebook right now. Welcome to No Borders, a very special edition of No Borders. You see I have my virgin here with me, Soldier, Kingsley. Kingsley, what's up, my brother?
Hey, what's up, Garth Christopher? Good night to Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you for locking on. We continue asking to share the live. make a watch party, share the live, make a comment, share the live, share the live, share the live, let it be live. Because tonight, Kingsley and Garth Christopher, we come to jag Roger. Roger come the new mannequin of Trinidad and Tobago. So we come to jag him, the whole of Trinidad and Tobago. We come to expose him. So we say share the live, continue sharing the live. And it's going to be a very interesting, we're going to cry you back from the beginning of this bacchanal madness start with our heartbeat, our Petrotrin. And we've been asking questions. When I say we been asking questions for a very long time. What going on with the oil refinery? What taking place at Petrotrin? We've been asking that kind of questions. And the questions we've been asking, we see it coming forward now. Answers coming forward now. Madness. So I want the first clip play where Dr. Rowley telling our children and the mothers of this country what's going on with Petrotrin.
Government is not closing down Petrotrin. The statement from Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley at a PNM public meeting in Marabella on Tuesday night. In the heartland of the Pointe-a-Pierre refinery, the Prime Minister said the government was so confident with the rectitude of its action that it was not prepared to shy away from the people who are affected most by the action. He also had one message for the mothers, sisters, neighbors, and those attached to the Petrotrin business.
The government is not closing down Petrotrin. And in case you were just opening your fridge and you didn't hear that when you closed the door, let me repeat it. The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin.
The Prime Minister described Petrotrin as an integrated company.
So we see Dr. Rowley, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, lie to our mothers, lie to our children, lie. He said to our mothers, Garth Christopher, he said to our mothers and our children. That's what he said. To our mothers, to our children of this country, where our heartbeat, where this Petrotrin was good to us, the oil refinery was good to us, and Dr. Rowley destroyed it and the PNM. Why is Kamala Prasad Bisasa, the former Prime Minister, now the opposition leader of Trinidad and Tobago, was telling the mothers of this country she will continue giving you baby grant, milk grant, she will continue the laptop drive. That was Kamala was telling our children the truth. Why is Dr. Rowley was lying, telling tales and speaking on truth to our children, to our mothers? Because Dr. Rowley say to our mothers, to our children, he's not going to cause on our heartbeat. And we see today our heartbeat in problems, our heartbeat in trouble. When our good leader, when the mother of the nation was telling the mothers of this country, she will continue the milk grant, she will continue empowering the mothers in this country, she will continue giving children laptops and tablets and continue. And this is what they vote for. This is what the country reject and vote for a lie. When the Honorable Kamala Prasad was telling the mothers of this country, what you going to do? What you going to do for the children? You hear Dr. Rowley come to this country and he lied. I said, Dr. Rowley, woe be unto you. Woe be unto you, Dr. Rowley, for lying to our mothers and to lying to our children. Garth Christopher.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the very first Prime Minister in the history of our country. And actually, line up the clip again, all right? Line up the clip again, especially by the part where he says, I want to talk to our mothers and to our children. Line it up, Archie. Don't play it as yet. But those of you who are listening and viewing this program here tonight, I want you to tell me which prime minister in the history of our country has ever called our children to attention to lie to them. I remember Dr. Eric Williams spoke to the children and he said, hey, the future of our country is in your book bags. That's the father of our nation, as we call him. I mean, you know, I have my issues with that, but let's give him that. The father of our nation, Dr. Eric Williams. He drew the attention of our children and he said, listen, the future of Trinidad and Tobago is in your book bags. Kamala Prasad Bisesa said the future, she also called to attention the children of our nation and the parents, the mothers. And she said, Dr. Eric Williams said the future of our nation is in the book bags. Hear what I'm saying. The future of our nation is in your book bags, but in the laptop's computer and in the tablets that I am going to give to you. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot remember what Mr. Patrick Manning ever called, if he ever called our children to attention and say anything to them. I also cannot remember if Dr. What's his name? George Chambers. Mr. George Chambers, former Prime Minister, second Prime Minister, ever called the children their attention and say anything to them. I can't remember what A.N.R. Robinson called our children and told them. I'm sorry, but I remember what Dr. Eric Williams said, what Kamala said, and I also remember what Dr. Rowley said. Archie, play the clip. Let's hear what Dr. Rowley said.
The government is not closing down Petrotrin.
He also had one message for the mothers, sisters, neighbors, and those attached to the Petrotrin business.
The government is not closing down Petrotrin. And in case you were just opening your fridge and you didn't hear that when you closed the door, let me repeat it. The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin.
The Prime Minister described Petrotrin as an integrated...
I ain't get the part I wanted, which was, I want to talk to our mothers, I want to talk to our children. Ladies and gentlemen, my point is pretty simple. And I want you to let me know if you agree with me, if you're agreeing with us. That Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, as they love to call him, is the only Prime Minister in our country who has ever called our children to attention to lie to them. Do you agree or do you disagree? Are you saying, Garth Christopher, you're just an extremist? I mean, we need not focus on that. Really? You don't want to focus and you think it is not important if a prime minister can call the children of your nation to attention to lie to them? Will you, as a parent, call your children in a group, let's say a family meeting? Will you call your children in a family meeting and lie to them? And if you do, what will you think of yourself? Will you call your students, you teachers, there are thousands of you out there, will you call your class full of children and lie to them? You wouldn't do that. Now, why will you, PNM supporter, Why will you, PNM supporter, who will never call your children to attention, your 2, 3, 4, 5 or bag of children, you're not calling them into no family meeting to lie to them, but you would accept Keith Rowley calling our children and the children of Petrotrin workers, of the thousands of Petrotrin workers, to lie to them. You have no problems with that. What do you think is responsible for you having a problem with you calling your own children to attention, but you have no problem with Keith Rowley calling the children to attention to lie to them? What manner of human being are you, PNM supporter? I really want to appeal to your conscience, if you have, you PNM supporter. Why do you allow Keith Rowley to do you whatever he wishes and to do your children? As a matter of fact, you give your children to him for him to do what the hell he wants with them. As we showed the last time when we were here, Kingsley, in Tobago, PNM supporters give their little girl children
in the sports too.
In the sports to call Kamala a drunken sailor just to satisfy Keith Rowley. Why will you PNM supporters give your children to Keith Rowley to do whatever he wants? Something is wrong with you. I tell you, you will never support Kamala Persad-Bissessar if she would have said those things. No, you will not. Now, Archie, there is a clip, because we have to deal with Ansel Roger, But you remember, Ansel Roger didn't work by himself.
Yeah.
Ansel Roger worked in conjunction and in collaboration and in conspiracy with Keith Rowley.
And
so, Archie, I want to line up the clip, but I want Kingsley to say what you had to say, but I want to line up that clip I told you about just now. Go ahead, Kingsley.
And what you said, Garth, is the facts. Facts. And we continue, Garth was asking questions if Dr. Rowley was telling truth about he not going to sell the oil refinery, right? We continue asking questions, right? So Archie, play me the clip with Kamala Persad-Bissessar asking questions about the oil refinery. What's taking place?
Government and the Prime Minister, a $1 billion question. Is it true that you already have a buyer lined up for the refinery within 3 months with the finances to purchase and restart the refinery? Is that why you're just kicking the can down the road with Petrotrin because you can't sell it to them and they do not have the money for the financing or for the restarting of the refinery, given all the restrictions and conditions? If you do, if you know how you can get it to them, please tell the country. Please tell the country how it's going to happen. How are you going to pay the $1.173 billion in charges, in mortgages, bonds, and so on that you owe, where you have the assets as being guaranteed for those loans?
We was asking questions. So we continue asking questions. If Dr. Rowley telling the truth, who getting the oil refinery? Who he going to sell it to? Who purchasing it? Who buying it? But there was a man in Petia called SP May. When SP May tell this country all going home, we was shocked because Dr. Rowley now tell the mothers, the sisters, and the children that he's not going to close down a Petrotrin. So actually, let me play the tape with SP May now talking to this country.
Petrotrin's chairman Wilfred Espinay says conflicting information on the number of employees to be terminated following the closing of the company's refinery does not represent any intent on his board's part to mislead the public. Our reporter Janine Brown brings us that story.
At a press briefing on Tuesday, exactly 3 weeks after announcing the company's decision to close its refinery, Chairman of Petrotrin Wilfred Espinay sought to end all speculation surrounding exactly how many people will be retrenched as a result.
There's been very clear that all the employees of Petrotrin will will exit the company. All. So do we get that clear so that nobody had to call me up at 10 o'clock in the night to find me? How many of us?
You hear the Prime Minister? You hear the Prime Minister? Nobody. No one. Not even Hans. Not even Hans could call him after 10. Because all, every single one, every single PNM going home, every single PNM going home for Petrotrin, every single PNM going home, all. And the Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Kingsley Rowley, couldn't say nothing. So we understand that we're going to link it. So, Christopher, you have a clip to play after this?
You see, Wilfred Espinay made himself very clear, ladies and gentlemen, but the real culprit is Keith Rowley. We must never forget the real culprit in this whole thing is Keith Rowley. And we have to wonder why. Now, Archie, I wanted to hit that clip there for me, and let's deal with the real issue here.
PNM candidate who contested the Superior constituency in the 2015 general election. He was also the man in charge of recording the oil coming into and leaving Petrotrin. Based on his involvement in the fake oil scandal, Vidya Duki Singh was the PNM candidate who contested the Superior constituency in the 2015 general election. He was also the man in charge of recording the oil coming into and leaving Petrotrin. Based on his involvement in the fake oil scandal, Mr. Duki Singh will now have to resign from another state board.
Mr. Duki Singh has been a member of the Lake Asphalt board since December 2015, and given the fact that he is now implicated in this investigation, my information is that he intends to resign from the board, and I expect that resignation to come in short order.
Dr. Rowley was also asked how many times he visited the home of his friend in the past.
In the last 7 years, I've been to the home of the Bash family about 5 or 6 times, which is a whole lot less than the number of times spent by the last Prime Minister in Gopal House.
On Thursday, Dr. Rowley admitted he had contacted the man at the center of the controversy, one of the owners of A&V Oil and Gas. Today, when asked if he had compromised any investigation by doing this, the House Speaker did not allow the Prime Minister to answer.
Would the Prime Minister agree that his telephone call and/or conversation with Mr. Bash has prejudiced any further investigation and compromised an investigation by Petrotrin, by the police and the DPP?
I will allow that as a supplemental question. Member for Rupuchis.
Would the Prime Minister agree that his conversation with his friend on this matter could be also the subject of an investigation by the relevant law enforcement agencies?
Again, I will not allow that as a supplemental.
Line up, Archie. I want you, now ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to start sharing the live.
Yeah.
Right? Because, and Archie, I want to line up the intro again because we're about to get to work. You hear me? We're about to get to work, ladies and gentlemen, to deal with the real issue. So you need to share the live. You need to share this live to Keith Rowley, Stuart Young, the entire cabinet.
Roger too.
All right? Definitely Roger, Stuart Young, all of them, UNC MPs, senators, everybody, share this live far and wide. Archie, let's get to work.
No Borders with Garth Christopher.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, remember, share the live. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we see a lot of shenanigans taking place. We see a lot of kicking the can down the road. We see a lot of kind of ridiculous theater taking place. Rowley going and give Roger a third bite of the cherry. Today we see that he gained him 15 more days. 2 more weeks, you go ahead. Try to raise $500 million in 2 more weeks' time. Of course, we know that will take about, they go Mama Gaiwi and Lele and all kind of thing for about the next month and a half, 6 weeks to 2 months. And then they will come and they go blank them again. But ladies and gentlemen, this thing had a beginning. The shutting down of Petrotrin had a beginning. And ladies and gentlemen, the clip I just played, what Archie just played, let us go right back there. Archie, I want you to play the clip.
First one, second one.
Play the clip, Archie.
Vidya Duki Singh was the PNM candidate who contested the Siparia constituency in the 2015 general election. He was also the man in charge of recording the oil coming into and leaving Petrotrin. Based on his involvement in the fake oil scandal, Mr. Duki Singh will now have to resign from another state board.
Come back. Okay. Now, we will be pausing and coming back. Duki Singh was a PNM candidate for Siparia. That was the fella who was responsible for measuring the oil. A PNM candidate, general election candidate. Ladies and gentlemen, what a coincidence. We see he and Rowley shaking hands and them as good friends, best of partners. Duki Singh. It so happened, listen, it so happened that the man who measuring, who taking the dipstick and choking it down in the tanker oil to measure it was a PNM candidate in a general election. Ladies and gentlemen, Archie, continue from where we
Mr.
left.
Duki Singh has been a member of the Lake Asphalt board since December 2015, and given the fact that he is now implicated in this investigation, my information is that he intends to resign from the board, and I expect that resignation to come in short order.
Dr. Rowley was also asked how many times he visited the home of his friend in the past.
In the last 7 years, I've been to the home of the Bash family about 5 or 6 times, which is a whole lot less than the number of times spent by the last Prime Minister in Gopal House.
On Thursday,
come back. Now, A and V, oil and drilling and wherever the name is, ladies and gentlemen, the owner of that is Rowley's best friend. Ladies and gentlemen. And when Kamala Prasad Bisesa bust the mark, Rowley called his partner. He called Duki, not Duki Singh, he called Baksh. Imagine, ladies and gentlemen, you heard something like that. You're a prime minister, you call a man, and you know what? When the population tell your man, you compromise yourself and you cuss everybody and said, I'm a friend. No, I mean, I can't call my friend. He's the first man that's supposed to call to find out what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, you see the kind of person we have as a prime minister. And when he answering a question in Parliament, his response was, I mean, in the past few years, I went by the man maybe about 6 or 7 times. Less than the amount of times Kamala spent by she friend Gopi. Gopal. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the kind of a wajang behavior.
Yep.
And we see that every day. We see Kit Rowley just yesterday or so talk about, Kamala asking very pertinent questions. And Rowley want to know, was she drinking? Was she drinking? That's the kind of response. But we know with that kind of conversation, he want we to shift and get sidetracked and start to talk about that all the time. Oh, how Rowley could only ask them kind of question about how she drinking. No. We're very focused. We are very, very focused. And we know what we on. Don't feel you could sidetrack us. Archie, continue.
Dr. Rowley admitted he had contacted the man at the center of the controversy, one of the owners of the Oil and Gas. Today, when asked if he had compromised any investigation by doing this, the House Speaker did not allow the Prime Minister to answer.
Would the Prime Minister agree that his telephone call and/or conversation with Mr. Bash has prejudiced any further investigation and compromised an investigation by Petrotrin, by the police and the DPP?
I will allow that as a supplemental question. Member for Rupuchis.
Would the Prime Minister agree that his conversation with his friend on this matter could be also the subject of an investigation by the relevant law enforcement agencies?
Again, I will not allow that as a supplemental.
Ladies and gentlemen, we see again someone in the person of Bridget Anisette George, who is the Speaker of the House of Representatives, who is third in line to be the President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, who swore to uphold the Constitution and the law and to seek and to serve the population. As the Speaker of the House, she is not serving the population. She is not going to allow certain questions. The same way how when they wanted to how when Tim Gopi Singh and Kamala Prasad Bisesa and they wanted, and Wade Mark, and they wanted to discuss the coronavirus pandemic way down in December 2019, that wasn't important. That was never important. Now today we see some kind of new strain from Britain. Ladies and gentlemen, we see them wearing masks all over the place. All in the parliament, she giving out masks, but all that wasn't important. But ladies and gentlemen, it's not important for Rudal Munilal and the UNC and Kamala Prasad Bisesa and Wade Mark and our stalwarts and our leaders of our party to ask very pertinent and important questions. She wants to shut us down. Ladies and gentlemen, we must never lose focus. Don't lose focus. The shutting down of Petrotrin is all because they want to cover up the fake oil scandal. Never, ever, ever you lose focus, ladies and gentlemen. The reason they shut down Petrotrin is because they wanted to protect the friends and families and financiers of the People's National Movement, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to prove that to you. The PNM commissioned about three groups of people to investigate and to analyze the situation of Petrotrin and to come and give the government advice as to what to do with Petrotrin. And of the three that they paid hundreds of millions of dollars for, not one said to shut down Petrotrin.
Yeah.
Now why will you spend hundreds of millions of dollars? And this, what I'm saying is not a lie. And I want anybody who is on this live to contradict what I'm saying. Did the PNM, did Keith Rowley and his PNM commission groups, companies to investigate and to analyze the situation at Petrotrin and to give the government advice. And did they follow the advice that they were given? Not one said. So then, why would you shut it down? Why will you shut down the only foreign exchange earner in our country? Ladies and gentlemen. And to further prove my point, when Keith Rowley and his band of brigands, when Keith Rowley and his brotherhood of wrongdoers restructured the whole arrangement at Petrotrin and said they want to cut it up in 4 and put Paria here and this one here and Karade and all that kind of stuff, who did he choose to put? Ladies and gentlemen, who did Keith Rowley put to man these posts as chairman of Paria? Who did he put? The same woman has the Speaker of the House who's shutting down everything that we need to know as citizens. She's shutting down everything. Is her husband who they put as chairman of Paria, who they put as the chairman or president of the other entity, Keith Rowley's lawyer, Kwamena. Ladies and gentlemen, who are these people? Why would you put these people there? Why would you put your close confidant? Who is Bridget Annie said George husband? That was Rowley, campaign manager in 2015. Ladies and gentlemen, don't lose sight of the reality and the fact of the matter. Okay, we lost jobs, thousands of jobs and all that kind of stuff. They don't care what they do. All they want to do is to cover up. To cover up, ladies and gentlemen. They don't want to go to jail. They don't want their friends to go to jail. So they decide to mash up the whole country, and our foreign exchange, main foreign exchange earner, they want to destroy it. That's why today you cannot go to the bank and get US currency. I not saying so, you know. It's people like Gabriel Faria and all of them. Is the business community saying so? President of the Chamber of Industries and Commerce, president of TTMA, they are the ones who are saying is the business people, the small, medium and micro business people and the large conglomerates, they are the ones who are saying that they cannot get foreign exchange. I insist so. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what dictators do. They don't care. They just don't care how the damage, who the damage, the extent of the damage. All they do is they cater for themselves, their friends, their families, and their circle of evil. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to listen to this clip of Colum Imbert when he was making the announcement about patriotic. Listen to it.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I'm authorized to make this statement on the results of the request for proposals for the sale of the Pointe-à-Pierre refinery. Mr. Deputy Speaker, Trinidad and Tobago's largest crude oil producer, operating the country's only petroleum refinery, ceased refinery operations on November the 30th, 2018. The refinery was plagued by high and increasing debt, low productivity levels, escalating manpower costs, and an expenditure pattern of habitually surpassing its earnings and income. The refinery lost billions of dollars every year.
Archie, is a short clip. Let's talk about that a little bit. I want you to play that again. Yeah, the same clip, I want the people to hear it. Listen, they let it soak into the people and them system.
So, Deputy Speaker, I'm authorized to make this statement on the results of the request for proposals for the sale of the Pointe-à-Pierre refinery. So, Deputy Speaker, Trinidad and Tobago's largest crude oil producer, operating the country's only petroleum refinery, ceased refinery operations on November the 30th, 2018. The refinery was plagued by high and increasing debt, low productivity levels, escalating manpower costs, and an expenditure pattern of habitually surpassing its earnings and income. The refinery lost billions of dollars every year.
Oh God, you know, ladies and gentlemen, Keith Rowley and they, but he was authorized to announce patriotic win the bid. And he went and he talked about how Petrotrin was losing money and all that kind of thing. Ladies and gentlemen, the question is, who caused Petrotrin to be losing all that money? Who caused Petrotrin to be losing all that money?
God, there's a fella called Michael Jones.
You know that fella? That is the same man who Keith Rowley went in San Fernando in 2015 and hailed that man as a patriot.
And wait. When Kamala Prasad Bisasa went after the money, the millions upon millions of dollars, what the great Malcolm Jones take? When the government come in power, the PNM government, what they do? They cancel it. They pay off without a payoff. It is a disaster. What to see what the PNM government do by trying to protect Michael Jones. We have to say it so. They were trying to protect Michael Jones because Michael Jones know what going with Petrotrin and the PNM. Because anybody in this country, Garth Christopher, have to take blame for Petrotrin is the PNM, from Eric Williams to Chambers to Patrick Manning. These people have to take blame. These people run this country forever, ever and ever. These people run this country forever and ever. We continue asking to share the life, please. Share the life, because it's bombshell after bombshell after bombshell. Because this is a disaster. This is a disaster. Share the life. We're going to expose Dr. Rowley. We're going to expose Roger. We're going to expose Inbert. We're going to expose them, because they need to be exposed. This country is sleeping. And it's time for me to wake up. It is time for me to put fire in our belly and defend this country. It is time for me to use our constitutional rights and stand up in this country. Look what's going on in this country. Look what's taking place. When they tell me that Roger was the best bidder for this country, he was the best. You hear the clip in both. And Garth, you come back in this now. I want the clip, what did they play to show you that the deceit and the nasty game. So, bring it on for me.
Is nothing more than just business. Crystal Wilson has more.
It has always been a wish of the People's National Movement for Petrotrin's Pointe-à-Pierre refinery to restart, but not as a taxpayer's entity. The statement from political leader of the People's National Movement, Dr. Keith Rowley, at a political meeting in Faizabad on Thursday night. Dr. Rowley reminded citizens of a suggestion he made a long time ago, that if former Petrotrin employees wish to get into the business of refining oil, they would be given the first opportunity to do so.
As long as you put forward a proposal that is robust and that can stand the same scrutiny as any other, we will give you the opportunity. And as fate would have it, at the end of a very transparent and deliberate and extended process, it turned out that the OWTO's proposal is the best proposal, and I make no apology for that.
As for talk,
as long as you put forward,
I hope my country is sleeping. So I want to use Dr. Rowley's line. If I was closing the fridge and did not hear the Prime Minister, I want to repeat what the Prime Minister said, because this again is a next lie. This again will expose him. This man continue. Why our country do this? Why our country bring this darkness, this evil, this blight on our country? Why today we have to be suffering, and my brother say, for US in this country? Why today the Caribbean have to be laughing at this country? Why? Why St. Vincent and Grenada and Barbados and these Caribbean great country have to be laughing at us, who was the king, who was controlling things at the time? We was like a small America. These small countries, these small Caribbean countries look at us. But we're going to see how the deceit and the dangerous game, what Dr. Rowley and Inbert, because here we're going on, Inbert is saying no, Dr. Rowley saying yes, because every time Inbert come and say, hey, that is it, no more, Dr. Rowley say no, no. So I know if Inbert now is the real Prime Minister, or Dr. Rowley is the real Prime Minister. So actually I want to play the clip again when Dr. Rowley telling this country,
as long as you put forward a proposal that is robust and that can stand the same scrutiny as any other, we will give you the opportunity. And as fate would have it, at the end of a very transparent and deliberate and extended process, it turned out that the OWTO's proposal is the best proposal, and I make no apology for that.
As for talk among other political parties of a conspiracy between the...
God, you come in now. You know something? When, again, our UNC leaders and MPs and activists was asking questions, right? They were saying, oh gosh, we UNC, the way the black man get it, and we fighting on the black man, and it's a black man, and it's Roger is Trinidadian, and we have no problem. We were just asking if everything was on board, because you see that the man win the bid. And my comment is that if me and God bid for a bid, we have to come with every document right. And if then now the producer say, well, Kingsley win the bid, but my evidence was right here, my document was right. So you're seeing the deceit. God, what you have to say about Dr. Christopher Rowley and Inbert with your tape one time?
Well, we know that the upholder is worse than the thief.
Blacks share the life.
We know that Keith Rowley has made himself a notorious liar, and he has employed an even more notorious liar in the person of Stuart Young. Ladies and gentlemen, you must never forget that Petrotrin, Petrotrin, ladies and gentlemen, is not a creature of the UNC. No. Ladies and gentlemen, the oil industry from Texaco back to wherever it was, it started, and those things generated the PNM in so much that they take this, they lay claim to it. This is PNM country, and PNM build point
this not
leases.
PNM country. This
PNM build point leases, and PNM drill the oil, and PNM drill take the gas. They want the fame of saying they are the ones who build this country, but they don't want to take responsibility for the derelict structure and the poor foundation that they laid. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard Columbert talking about how Petrotrin hemorrhaging money and his billions of dollars a year out of taxpayers' money to uphold Petrotrin. Ladies and gentlemen, Petrotrin is PNM. You must never lose sight of that. Petrotrin is Malcolm Jones and the WGTL. Ladies and gentlemen, don't you forget the gas to liquid project and the ultra sulfur and diesel don't forget those things. They talk about the debt of Petrotrin. All those projects, when you add them up, when you accumulated them, they started at about $3.3 billion. And when you finish with the cost overruns, they end up at $9.3 billion, $6 billion more. Malcolm Jones caused Petrotrin to be owing all that money. Is not Kamala Prasad the successor?
Malcolm Jones, PNM.
Is Malcolm Jones, PNM, who destroyed Petrotrin? Not Kamala, not Basdio Pandey, not A.N.R. Robinson, but it's the PNM. And today, they are like arsonists who are complaining about the fire. They are the ones who set the fire. But yet they're complaining, oh God, look, Petrotrin burning down. And it's them who burned down Petrotrin. It's the same thing they did with the sea bridge, the Galleons Passage. The Galleons Passage working good. They send them home. The Fire Bay Ferries, no maintenance company. And today, they spend over $2 billion in trying to regain a simple service like what Galleons Passage was providing. Today, they carry the media on a tour on the APT James. And here what Keith Rowley telling the population, this guy is something wrong with this guy. He really needs to see a psychologist and a psychiatrist. He telling the media and by extension the population, we have to up the security, on this APT James, because remember the last time they throw lime and Josie and Big Stone down in the sewer system. We had to protect this because they go want to sabotage it again.
That, I don't, because we have to discuss about that boat and Tobago election only one, right? Because that, we ask you, continue sharing it live. I think that a number possibly going up on the screen very soon to take some calls. Let me see where we'll lock on from. And we could interact, debate, we ask, even if PNM viewing us, call in. We have a problem with that. But let's be respectful. We have to speak about Tobago, of course. We have to speak about this boat. We have to speak about the ZIP plan. We have to speak about the plot to try to make Tobago feel that Kamala fighting this TJ election. And we're going to expose it here this year. We're going to expose it. But we want to, again, go back with the clip archie where Dr. Rowley speaking and saying that Roger and Patriot do very well. And he give it. So there we are it.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley says he is fully cognizant that his government's decision to close Petrotrin's oil refinery was a risky political move. However, he says there came a time where a decision had to be made in the best interest of the nation. He broke his silence on the issue in an hour-long address to the nation on Sunday night. Our reporter Janine Brown has more.
In the coming weeks,
mixed feelings of sadness and resolve. This is how Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley described his mood in relation to his government's decision to close Petrotrin's oil refinery after its 100-year existence. Dr. Rowley said the single payment of a US $850 million bond, which matures in August 2019, plus the $700 million that the company is due to repay shortly after, was the basis on which he knew decisive action on Petrotrin's future could no longer be put off.
But the country's decision makers, whilst knowing the problem, shied away from the negative responses that were certain to accompany any corrective action. In short, the Petrotrin fix was always seen to be bad for politics and even one's political survival. But we have arrived at a place now where its ongoing failure threatens the national survival.
Furthermore, he said a Petrotrin in its current state would require a $25 billion injection to survive, and even then it stands to incur losses to an average of $2 billion per year. As he gave the assurance that all workers to be retrenched would receive attractive severance packages, he also made an offer to the majority trade union, the OWTU.
The refining assets of Petrotrin can now be put in a separate company for opportunity attention. The OWTU will be given the first option to own and operate it if they wish, on the most favorable terms.
Dr. Rowley denounced the speculation that last week's announcement means the company will be no more. He reinforced that Petrotrin will still stand, but its new model will focus on exploration.
Increased drilling and production works, both on land and offshore, are to be expected in the new business model. There will be increased use of service contractors and suppliers, and this should cushion the effects of loss of some opportunities at the refinery.
Dr. Rowley said in the coming weeks government will reveal 2 industrial projects to begin in the southwestern peninsula. This, he said, was part of their plan to explore new and profit-driven industrial activities in the Southland. Janine Brown, TTT News.
The oil.
So, again, right? So, by we wind back the tape, he did not know the oil refinery was going to sell. Now we come to say that we saw stories, the oil refinery is going to sell, and they owe this money, and they're going to give them this package. Again, a next lie to our country, a deceit. Once again, we're exposing you tonight. So that was the first thing we are taking some calls.
Yeah. You can call. All right, you can call the program. But ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, what we have to understand and never, ever, ever forget, the reason why Petrotrin was in that sad state of affairs and owing billions of dollars, as a matter of fact, $14 billion plus dollars, TT dollars, 14 billion plus TT dollars, is because of Malcolm Jones, because of the PNM. And when in 2014, I believe it was, under Kamala Prasad Desessa and Anand Ramlogan, the Attorney General then, sought to ensure that Malcolm Jones and the entire board stand up to the responsibility of their duty of care to our country. And he put them in court. And Malcolm Jones and them had to pay money. You know, the first thing Al-Rawi and they did, Keith Rowley and they did when they came into power in 2015 was to stop that case, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't forget that.
They stopped, ladies and gentlemen, and you took it. You, the people of our country, you said nothing. That was an opportunity, and that was the time for us to stand up. Yeah. Let's take some calls.
Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening to Garth and Kingsley and to everybody out there. Garth, when Keith Rowley excuse me, sorry about that. When they were debating the appropriation bill in 2009, Keith Rowley was a backbencher, right? He was on the other side. He said that he never paid any attention to when the unions were talking about corruption in Petrotrin. But as he was out of the cabinet now, he decided to give it a read. And he himself said that he couldn't believe that educated people could have gotten it so wrong, moving it from $3 billion, a project that started at $3 billion, ended up at over $9 billion. He knocked every one of them. And yesterday when he came back into government, all of them. The same set that brought down Petrotrin is the same set he brought back there. Keith Rowley cannot speak without bringing in Mrs. Prasad saying it, right? But I want to tell him, the Gopals never had a dipstick man measuring any fake oil for them, right? It was your best friend. It was your best friend involved in it. And everybody knows that is why Petrotrin was shut down. You can't tell me a company that's bringing in foreign exchange. This is what they did to them. And now you want to make excuses? And on top of it, he's so bloody rude. Mrs. Prasad talked about it. He said that she was lying. How can you sell something that, it's impossible you could sell it if there's a mortgage on it. Roger and all knocked the lady for it. And look at today, they had to eat their word. I have the salt and pepper for them. But Rowley's so rude and vulgar. He had to come and talk about what she's drinking. But I know what she's drinking is not the same vulgar juice he's drinking. Because you've never heard Mrs. Prasad in any way get on with any kind of vulgarity like that. You understand?
Yes,
and before I leave, Garth, I just want to remind you about something that Keith Rowley said in 2017 when Mrs. Prasad had a meeting with him. He presented her with a draft code of conduct for parliamentarians. Some of the codes were: do not sexually harass members of the public or fellow members, do not accept bribes, and do not enrich yourself or your family through the abuse of power, and do not abuse parliamentarians. Do not abuse parliamentarians. Keith Rowley should have read that thoroughly, because we heard how many times when they asked him questions, instead of answering the questions, he abused the opposition, especially Dr. Monilal. He should practice what he preached. Thanks a lot, Garth and Kingsley, and have a good night.
Yes, and Garth, I always have to thank Miss Santa Cruz for being the queen of the airwave. I tell you, she's the queen of the airwave and TV, and I know she took over social media. So I want to thank Miss Santa Cruz for being so brave to call in, and we are asking more UNC supporters to call in, because I was advised that everybody's listening, all politicians listening, and the Prime Minister is listening, the opposition leader is listening. So I asked callers to call in and interact with us.
You know, this caller that you call Miss Santa Cruz, she's well researched.
Well researched. Yes, she's well researched.
She don't play games, you know. There is no PNM on air, radio, television, social media. No PNM is as researched as Mother Santa Cruz.
Yes.
Not one.
Yes.
This woman, this UNC warrior,
yes,
is a true soldier.
Yes.
And I telling you, I'm happy
to have her.
I'm happy to be on the same side with this lady. I don't want to be on her opposing side.
So
she brings the research, man, straight home to you.
Yeah.
She's correct. Yeah. Every single thing can be verified by documents.
We should not say there. So we continue asking the call now, 373-5488. So we call.
Ladies and yes, you see, Kingsley, and she's right, because Keith Rowley, I mean, he really said that. He said, the union and them sending me information. And I mean really taking it on.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing that on the backbench now, I guess some time and I'm reading it.
Yeah.
And would you believe this man outlined everything? Keith Rowley outlined everything, ladies and gentlemen. Keith Rowley went on to say, when I sat down to study the documents, I realized what the unions were saying. And we have a big problem here. We entered a gas liquid project, and this document tells us that the original estimate was $850 million. It has been revealed, or it has been revised, for $1.324 billion as a result of incomplete engineering at the start. He also went on to say, so I expect good quality estimates, and if they do not have it, they hire people to do it. He said an $850 million project, and we are now talking about a revision of $1.324 billion. He said, that is one project. He said another project was an ultra-low sulfur diesel plant. Original estimate when the project was embarked upon of $708 million. It has now gone to $2.4 billion. That's the kind of a thing Keith Rowley was saying. So Mother Santa Cruz is correct. He went on to say that the CCR platform unit, there is not an estimate. He says $650 million. It is now $1.592 billion. He said the alkalization plant was estimated when it was entered upon at $586 million. He said it is now $1.8 billion. And when you add up all of them, he said the whole thing started, all the projects accumulated to $3.3 billion. He said today we are looking at a cost of $9.3 billion. We have to digest that in the context now of where the money gone.
Yeah. So God, so our favorite caller, the queen of the airwaves, Miss Santa Cruz, like you don't have that research, but you come and say before you.
Of course. Ladies and gentlemen, we must never lose sight of the players involved in this thing. The message is very simple. Ladies and gentlemen. One, the mess that Petrotrin found itself in is a result of the P&M doing. And it's the people who P&M put on a pedestal and call them patriots. Rowley had Malcolm Jones on an energy committee,
Yeah.
Rowley bring back Malcolm Jones. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. Jesus Christ, these people wicked, boy.
So that is to show there was bias in the court. Because remember, there was government. They say there's no evidence to carry on the case. If we carry on the case, we're going to pay big money. That's what they said.
But right? Malcolm Jones ended up getting $2 million or something like that.
Right, end up getting, yeah. Right?
We end up having to pay Malcolm Jones money when Malcolm Jones
was too.
And the whole board, the whole Petrotrin board, was to pay the country back the money that they caused us to lose.
So we asked question like the plot was to remove Malcolm Jones' case from the court to give him state boards under Dr. Rowley. To give him state boards under Dr. Rowley. So that was the plot. The nasty plot.
And ladies and gentlemen, exactly.
And Roger know about the plot.
No, but
Roger know about the plot.
Come now, man, listen to me.
Roger know about the plot.
The thing about it is the Keith Rowley was given these documents by the union. Mr. Speaker, I want to draw your attention to page 71 of the document to tell you, let us face up to what is happening at Petrotrin. I have heard the union talking about this as a union item.
Yep.
So Roger and then knew Rowley. What Rowley was saying is the union give me the information.
Mm-hmm.
And ladies and gentlemen, this lien that they're talking about, Roger knew about the lien.
Yep.
Rowley knew about the lien. They all knew about the lien.
And we knew about the lien.
Everybody,
yes.
All the players who were around that table, who were negotiating and lobbying for patriotic to get this whole deal and get this deal. And Archie, there is a clip there with Imbut on a campaign trail in 2019, the local government election. Play that clip.
The OWTU formed a company called Patriotic. They put in a bid for the refinery, and we selected them as the preferred bidder because they were by far the best bidder. And I don't want to talk out of turn. We gave Petrotrin a month to deal with some issues that the evaluation team is mainly public servants and experts, had some issues with how Patriotic was looking at how they will take over the refinery. So they asked them 10 questions. And I can report tonight that Patriotic has answered those 10 questions. And the cabinet will be making a decision on that in the very near future. If everything works according to plan, we're going to move the OWTU from a trade union to a commercial business company earning money for its members. Only PNM could do that. You think UNC could do that? You think UNC could build a new society like that? Taking a trade union from being workers?
Kingsley,
that we continue asking to share the live. We have a number to call into interpreters if any PNM is viewing and could debate.
If Franklin can't want to call
right?
in,
call into a debate.
Young,
because
Rawi, all of
because
them.
after Petrotrin, we are going to Tobago. We are taking a trip in Tobago. We're going back there. We have to go there. And but here in birth. You here in birth. And God, in birth is a disaster for this country. In birth is a disaster and a dangerous man for this country. He's not to be trusted because he's himself. Some years ago, when PNM lost the election, he said, I'm going to change my life. You can remember that? I'm going to change my ways. He continued with his good, nasty ways. That we continue with, his good, nasty ways. This man, in birth, is a sickness. Is a disease. Is a politically sickness. Is a disease politically for our country. And we cannot one bit watch him. You understand the sickness? This man, this man do this country what he want. He raised it 4 times. He laugh at this country. Now you have a 10-story building worth billions of dollars over rent over the years. You're going to get. You're going to worth billions of dollars in birth. And this country, the PNM people cause this darkness where the EBC and the media always trying to undermine Kamala Prasad Bisesa. That is why we say boycott. I want to make it clear. Because there was a Kingsley user UNC. Kamala Prasad Bisesa never said to boycott the media. I am saying the UNC supporters have to boycott the media, especially Guardian and Century. But we have to deal with that. So we understand the disease of inbirth. We understand the sickness of inbirth. And Dr. Rowley cannot tell him, behave himself. Let's make it clear. Because they like to say the black man and the black man. You ever see when the Honorable Prime Minister leave this country, Fitzgerald Hines act as the Prime Minister? Oh no, not when Inbirth Day. You ever see Dr. Roddy Best Gill, Camille, act as the Prime Minister? You ever see Penny Beckers act as the Prime Minister? One individual. Because he cannot give it to no African to act as the Prime Minister in this country. Because the 1% and shock him. Give Inbirth it. He cannot give nobody else it. They talk about race. How can be race? And we have a East Indian opposition leader who make 3 or 4 African act as Prime Minister in this country. Jack Warner, the Labour Minister, Errol McCall, Marlene Kuje. You see balance? You see fairness? How our opposition leader can be racist? How she can be racist? When she allowed 3 Africans, powerful Africans in this country, act as Prime Minister. When Dr. Rowley was telling she about Jack Warner every Monday morning, I make it clear, Jack Warner love to go on the platform and lie and say Kamala and the cabal force him out. It's Rowley. From day one, Dr. Rowley swearing, from Jack Warner, I'm swearing, Rowley just ask questions, FIFA president, why you had this man there, if you could take his man corruption. Dr. Rowley pressure the UNC and pressure this country to put pressure on Jack Warner for the UNC, for Kamala Bissassa. It was a hard move for her. It was a hard move for Kamala Bissassa. But Dr. Rowley and the PNM pressure Kamala Bissassa to remove Austin Jack Warner, and that is the facts. That is the facts there. That's no cabal. It was no cabal. It was Dr. Rowley from the first day that Jack Warner swearing. He started asking questions. How could be he acting as, he could be the vice president of FIFA and be an MP and a minister and acting prime minister of this country. So we understand who racist against their own people. That's the reason why our leader one day on a platform, she told this country that the 1% come to her and she reject them. She also said to this country, they went to Manning and Manning reject them. You know something? Rowdy hold them. This is why she called him a Oreo. When they asked the African leaders in this country, David Mohammed and others, what is the meaning of an Oreo? They said the African community call an African man who living in the house, who working for the 1%, they just call him an Oreo, black outside and white inside. Dr. Rowley is white inside. He is white inside. That is why today, when we travel and we see the 1% and they have their hands in the media, they have their hands in ABC, they have their hands in some powerful position, they have their hands all over this country, or in the court they have their hands. They love to say that UNC have lawyers and judge. No. That is a blatant lie. That is a blatant lie. And you know something? The PNM and Dr. Rowley, the plot to bring down Kamala Bissassa. Like this, all what Kamala brings forward to our mothers, to our children, to the elderly, to the medical, to the works, to health, to education, Dr. Rowley mash it up complete in the 5 years. And this country, I say, woe be unto you. I'm so sorry to say it. I love this country dearly. But the people of this country, with ABC and others who put back Dr. Rowley there in power, I say the Ezekiel, woe be on this to all you. God, before I go to Tobago, because I have to expose them, in Tobago, I need to say that because I right now I'm burning fire.
Yeah, I want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, that actually I have a clip there. You see, Keith Rowley and Franklin Khan and Imbert are saying they're opening up the bid again. They're opening it up again. Everybody, we still selling the refinery now because patriotic, they not the money. They're broken like a church mouse. So we had to open it up again. Archie, it have a clip there that Imbert telling you it had about 70 companies who bid, who applied and thing. Send that clip there for me. Send that clip,
buyer
Archie.
or lessee possesses refining and marketing experience or has reasonable prospects of attracting a partner with such experience. 3, proposed purchase price or lease terms are potentially attractive. And 4, potential buyer or lessee has demonstrated that they possess the financial capability to fund the proposed purchase price or lease payments and the capital expenditure required to restart the refinery.
Archie, I want to hear the part when he said that he explained the amount. He explained to the parliament the amount of companies when they ask for Petrotrin for people who want to buy the refinery. He said about 70 people applied, and then it boiled down to 25, and then it boiled down to 8, and then it boiled down to 3. Find that clip there for me.
However, non-core assets were not offered for sale by government. Beowulf offered no upfront consideration, but instead proposed a lease payment of US $42,000 per month over a 15-year initial term, and a future 50-50 profit sharing contingent on Beowulf recovering its capital investment and achieving a 15% internal rate of return. Clash's proposal indicated that the only payments to the government would be through taxes.
So, Garth,
you see, ladies and gentlemen, what I wanted to understand is, I didn't really get the clip that we think, but don't worry.
Working on it.
All right. They open it up again. Only remember what Imbert said in the parliament. He said when we say Petrotrin is for sale, Guarakara is for sale, and Paria Fuel is for sale, 70 people applied. And he said out of the 70, 25 of them were willing to sign non-disclosure agreements. And he said with signing those non-disclosure agreements now, those 25 were given an opportunity to examine all the files and documents of Petrotrin. And he said out of them 25, 8 of them end up submitting bids. And then out of them now, 3 of them come down, which were Patriotic was one of them, and Beowulf, and whoever. And he said Petrotrin, he said Patriotic offer 700,000 up front and 700 million up front and 300 million to buy the hospital. He said, but we're not selling the hospital. He's selling the refinery. And he said, one offer, here was the best offer after Patriotic. One of them offer $42,000 a month. That US, $42,000 a month. And that for the first 15 years. And then afterwards, they will share with the government a 50% of the profit. And he said the other one say, well, we offer not, the only thing we could offer is taxation. Ladies and gentlemen, my question is, if you put Petrotrin, the oil refinery, on the market 2-3 years ago, 70 people responded. Out of the 70, only 25 signed non-disclosure agreement. So then 45 of them say, he ain't signing no non-disclosure agreement. There's a waste of blasted time, so I pull out. So 25 of them say, all right, I'll go in a little further, let me see. Let me see all the information they have, all the documents and rare. So 25 of them signing non-disclosure agreements, and they gone in and they see all the big set of documents and and after that now 17 of them pull out. Why see me don't like? That ain't making no sense. So 8 of them gone in now, and they decide to put a bid. And here the 3 bids. Patriotic was the best. And here was the one after Patriotic. 42,000 a month, 42,000 US a month. And the next one say, me paying a blasted cent. All I paying is taxation down the road. I want to find out who is really after Petrotrin, down for almost 3 years now. Which company really going and bid for that again?
Only Roger.
Which company going and bid for that again? And if another company bid for that, ladies and gentlemen, was that part of the game plan? Was that part of the plan? Because I can't understand if 70 companies applied up front, 25 of them sign non-disclosure agreement. Jesus Christ. You telling me the second best offer was $42,000 a month, US a month, and then the next offer to that was, all I gave you is taxation. What is this? What did they see or not see in Petrotrin that caused these low offers to come in? Because it's really, I mean, it were ridiculous offers. 42, we getting a whole oil refinery, $42,000 US dollars a month. You want to get it for 15 years, and then one say me said gain you $42,000 a month for no 15 years. All I gain is taxation. Then, ladies and gentlemen, what is the state of this asset? And after it done mothball for 2 years, you're going to put it back up on the open market now. What are the offers you're going to get? We take your calls 3735488, and as Kingsley goes to Tobago.
Yes. Yes, same number for WhatsApp. So even if we don't have money on your phone, you could call WhatsApp. Even if you just come off the live and make the call, you wouldn't miss nothing. So the number are 3735488. 3735488. I send you a picture. You have it? This picture, hold up. This picture is very filthy. Look at it, Garth. Very filthy. And my words, nasty and stink. That picture there. Watch it. Very filthy. Watch it. This is what Dr. Rowley and the PNM over there is doing that. We have to label that on Dr. Rowley's chest, because this is a disaster for Tobago. You have a call? This is fraud. This here is not right. This is a racist attack on the East Indian community in Trinidad and Tobago. This is a racist attack. Watch it good. What is it here? Our leader said, together we can. In 2021, the Honorable, the Mother of the Nation, said, together we can. She tell the country that together we can. Look what they do. Look what PNM and Dr. Rowley do. We have no business in Tobago. We know Tobago don't love UNC. I sorry to say it so, but I have to say it. We know Tobago don't love UNC. That there is a disaster.
And it's people like Skippy and them who caused that to happen, who really caused the people, Tobago to not like UNC. Skippy Barrington, Skippy Thomas is responsible for Tobago not liking UNC because of his bad behavior and ill and misrepresentation of the UNC on the.
But like Skippy was an agent of the PNM in the UNC.
Well, most definitely. As a matter of fact, you're hearing Skippy today saying.
Like he was an agent.
I think somebody sent me a post that Skippy saying that he didn't choose anybody in the THA right now.
I see that post. Yeah.
He didn't choose nobody as yet. Yeah. He going back to Tobago Friday, and then he will decide. So what he's saying that he could vote for the PNM.
Yeah. With the best quarter ring, Skippy is going to vote for. Archie, I want you to put back up the pit here. I beg of you. This day, what's it good? Is a plot. Kamala Posal Bisesa and the UNC and Kingsley and Garth. We have no link with Western Duke. We have no friend in the political arena with Western Duke. Kamala Posal Bisesa said that UNC stands alone and we're going to fight every single election alone. There will be no partnership. There will be no pick-up side. Come forward. Our leader says she are welcoming everybody. But when you want to come with a political party in the UNC, that will not be our leader. Reject that. That day is a Calcutta. That day is Sandy work. That day is the dead rise up there. That come from Lekito. We must X out that. Anyway in Tobago, you see that, you must pull it down and X it out. This year is for the 1% to come in Tobago and build. This day is for Sanders to come back in Tobago and build. Our leader is not fighting this TJ election because she know to pay her small resources she have in Tobago at this time. And we know, because when we take this survey, they will not vote for a government who care about them.
You see, Kingsley, Keith Rowley needs to condemn that post there.
Need to.
He needs to condemn that because that is Hilton Sandy number 2.
Yeah.
That is Hilton Sandy number 2, ladies and gentlemen. That is so racist. That is equal to the Calcutta ship coming.
Peter Pachi.
Keith Rowley needs to condemn this. And the people of Tobago, I mean, to be quite honest, I have no real faith and confidence in the people of Tobago because, and sad to say, I have no faith and no confidence in the people because they buy into these things because somehow they really swallow hook, line, and sinker.
God, that post,
PNM,
Gade,
racist agenda
was to cover up the zip money. You know that? That post there, Dr. Rowley turned his eye on corruption. He want to speak about it. And he say he's the corruption buster. But his own leader in Tobago, Chasey, is his name? Listen to me. These people are cursing. They curse. And we can't trust them. Because millions gone. And Dr. Rowley turned his back against corruption in Tobago. Today, if you see him in the front seat and the new boat, just for vote, just for Tobago vote, Tobago, we dependent on you. It's only you we have hope in right now to change the politics arena. We beg of you, Tobago, make that change for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Don't make the mistake. What happened? God, you know I just cry. And I feel to cry now. Don't make that mistake. What take place? August the 10th. Oh my gosh. Do not make that mistake. in Tobago and sell oil soul cheap. We are dealing with evil. We are dealing with evil. This man, Dr. Rowley, went to vote with some limes in his hand. He went to vote, Dr. Rowley. He went to vote with some limes in his hand. This country don't understand what we are dealing with, you know. These people who say praying and they praying and they praying. What praise they praying for? Our country. Look what's going on in Tobago right now. A racist attack. Once again, Anatoly, once again, what we doing in Tobago? We know Tobago don't like we. We know Tobago don't like the UNC. I take no apology for saying that. They don't like the UNC. We try many times. We send up candidates. We send up for general. For the TAJ. We fight. And they reject us. Despite that racist act. Every time PNM back against the wall in Tobago, they say Kamala over there. I can tell you when last Kamala take a trip in Tobago and go and see the sun and the sea in Tobago. But every time Tobago back against the wall, Rowley back against the wall, he used the race card, or he sent the children, the PNM children of Tobago to play the race card, or he sends one of them chief secretaries to play the race card. This is what Tobago want. Tobago tonight, Trinidad asks you and beg you and plead to you. We say only you could make that change in the politics by removing the PNM from the THA. I want to make it clear. The only soul you can get an audit, an investigation for the last 20 years. How much money over London spent. And I think it's Charles before this man, you know. These individuals have to be whole. They have to be locked up. And they have to be jailed. Tobago over the years got billions. When we think PNM thieving in Trinidad, if we really go in deep and understand, the thief more in Tobago. God, I was strongly advised that Kamala Prasad Bisesa gave the THA the biggest budget in the history of this country. Tobago, you ungrateful bastard. I'm sorry to say it.
You see, and
jeez.
I mean, the PNM is really the most corrupt party in the history of our country. And once you're talking Tobago and the THA, you're talking corruption, especially in the past 20 years when the PNM was in control. The only time Tobago has ever really realized value for their budgetary allocations was between 2010 and 2015. As a matter of fact, we know the whole history of Tobago, where a library cost, it started at 100 and something million and ended up 700 and something million. We know the Scarborough Hospital started at about 200 and something or 300 and something million and ended up at 1 point something billion, and it had to be completed under Kamala Prasad Bisesa. But Keith Rowley and they built one school, and I want you all to listen to this very carefully. Between 2015 and 2020, ladies and gentlemen, Keith Rowley and they built one school, and that one school was built in Tobago. And I want anybody who listening to me right now, if you are from Tobago and you can make a phone call, call, because the number is WhatsApp and it's free. All right? They built one school When we building schools in Trinidad
and Tobago,
and our schools are costing $13 and $15 million to be constructed, PNM built a school in Tobago. You know how much it cost? $85 million. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to question what I'm saying. I want you to doubt and contradict what I'm saying. PNM and you PNM people who are here, please say Garth Christopher is a nasty liar and prove me wrong. PNM built one school between 2015 and 2020, and that school was in Tobago. And the cost of that school was $85 million. And worse than that, they had to dig up the tiles because the tile was too smooth. And you know how much it cost to put back down the tiles? Or to put down the front tiles? $3 million. $3 million. And I challenge any one of you people who are citizens of Tobago, or if you're residents of Tobago, if you are a PNM person, challenge me. All right? Bring your facts and challenge me. Now, another thing that is very important for you to understand is that Tobago has always fared better under the UNC. As a matter of fact, the THA Act is really a UNC Act.
Mm-hmm.
It's a UNC Act.
I said it the other.
You understand?
Yeah.
And I mean, Keith Rowley and the PNM in 2014, when we were bringing, or when we brought the Self-Government Act for Tobago, Keith Rowley and they voted against that. So to talk about self-government for Tobago and all that kind of stuff, we know, ladies and gentlemen,
they do not want to get them that.
They don't want that. And the biggest allocation that the THA has ever gotten was under Kamala Prasad Bisesa.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, the most sort of work that really went on in Tobago is under Kamala Prasad Bisesa between 2010 and 2015. That is with people like Ashwood Jack and Delman Baker and Vanilla and Toppin.
The pair schools,
all sorts of stuff.
Health centers,
you know?
She built health centers, she fixed roads, she fixed bog drain, and these people still have a problem with UNC.
You see, and what the people of Tobago need to really pay close attention to, now people of Tobago, pay very close attention to this fact, this reality. All right? I'm not making up anything. And you know that I'm not making up anything. And you need to share this live to the Tobago people. You definitely need to, because they need to hear what I'm about to say now. Now, the PNM they really use a lot of African people, like Hilton Sandy. And look at how this man ended up. Is he alive still or he died?
I think he's 6 feet tall. I could be wrong.
All right. Hilton Sandy, though. Do you know who Hilton Sandy was? When Orville London was the chief secretary. While Orville London was the chief secretary, Hilton Sandy was the deputy chief secretary. You know? So he was high up. He was high up, you know, the deputy secretary. You know? The deputy chief secretary. And ladies and gentlemen, when that man got sick, PNM treat that man like a dog. The man's wife kicked him out of his own house. And the man suffering with a stroke. I don't know if he's alive still. Perhaps the people from Tobago can text and let us know if he's alive still. But ladies and gentlemen, that is how the PNM treats people who they use.
The supporters.
Yeah, the supporters. They really do not treat you well at all. I mean, and I don't understand why the people of Tobago are going to fall into that same trap.
Because God, yeah, I'm laughing here because I know a good friend, by tall, I always say by tall, who catch a stroke. Catch a stroke. And that's a strong activist tall. He's a strong activist. He called all program.
Yeah, but you're talking about tall, I mean, Brother Blues, over Brother Blues. Brother Blues catch a stroke and died.
And every day he used to call. Call?
And the PNM treat him like a dog. The man have a stroke.
Yes, call.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello, good evening.
We'll call back in.
You know, look at Stretch. You're talking about a man, Stretch from Tobago was Reggie Dumas.
Yeah.
The man was a local government minister and all kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
And ladies and gentlemen, Stretch ended up catching a stroke or something like that, I think. And the man suffered like a dog. Kitty Rowland them never helped the man. And the man was a minister, a PNM minister, you know, and a Tobagonian, you know. Yep. Listen to me, people of Tobago, you better pay heed, you know. And I want you all who are listening to contradict Garth Christopher. Gainsay what I'm saying if you can. I mean, just bring your facts, you know. I'm telling you, the PNM really don't like black people, and they will look at our poster. They will continue on that path.
Yeah.
They will use the Tobago people just for that. They will end up in power, just for them to end up in power, and to feed whom? To feed people like Colum Burt.
If you watch that woman called Tracy, she thirsty for power. All they are seeing she faces power, hungry. Look what she do.
But power to do what? Power to take care of Tobago. They're not taking care of Tobago.
Look what they
so what
do.
You want power for?
The ex-TTJ leader. They remove him and put the young boy. You know who was behind that? You know who was behind that? They just couldn't give Tracy because she wasn't a member of the thing. So they couldn't give shit. But she was pulling the string when the young the name cannot help me. The name is the TJ leader over there now.
Yeah, forgetting him.
Yeah, but
you know, them insignificant.
But damn God, right? Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Yes, I am.
Good afternoon. Yeah, trying to get also no border.
But you're on.
Yes, you're live. Speak up a little bit, please.
Hello. Yeah. I just call on to say, look how they treat Patrick Manning. When Patrick Manning get a stroke, they naturally run him. They chase him out of office. That is black people style. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very
So
much.
God, I don't time again. We have past 9 and we can close up.
You see, they look at how they treat their own, as a man said, Patrick Manning. I mean, Patrick Manning didn't just get a stroke. Keith Rowley said he gave him that stroke. I mean, these are the kinds of leaders, and I mean, Rowley. I mean, Kamala made a statement about Petrotrin, and Rowley come out and ask what kind of rum she drinking or something like that, right? And imagine Rowley went on a platform. Archie, you are that? When he say he from Lekito, can you put your hand on it right now?
I want to tell you something. I'm from Mason Hall in Tobago. Mason Hall very close to Lekito. The last time I was put out of anywhere for anything, the person who put me out regretted it. Remember I was in the cabinet? I took issue over the behavior of Calder Hart and Utica. And what happened to me? I was put out of the cabinet. The person who put me out regretted it.
Archie.
No, don't pay back out to go.
Archie.
I want to go.
Archie, is this the same man, ladies and gentlemen?
Bring me up, Archie.
Archie, bring me back.
Yes.
Is this the same man, Kingsley, who want to know what rum Camilla drinking?
I want to know what Obia he walking.
You want to know what rum Camilla drinking because Camilla make a statement about Petrotrin, and you talking all these things about Patrick Manning and saying what you did to Patrick Manning, and you think you sober?
God, you see what you hear that clip? Just say we break it down before we go. he said, the man who put him out of cabinet. We ask the question, if Dr. Rowley was ever in Bazio Pan, the cabinet, Garth, explain them what does a cabinet mean if they don't understand what a cabinet mean.
A cabinet is not what a joiner makes with wood.
No, it's not.
In the context of government, it is
ministers.
A group of ministers, a set of ministers that are chosen by the Prime Minister. Archie, play that clip again. It is very, very important. Because some people, and religious people too, you know, these so-called Christian people and PNM people,
the man,
some of them try to say, try to say he's not talking about money, you know.
So we're talking about it. Who pay cabinet?
Exactly.
I want to tell you something. I'm from Mason Hall in Tobago. Mason Hall very close to Liquor 2. The last time I was put out of anywhere for anything, the person who put me out regretted it. Remember I was in the cabinet. I took issue over the behavior of Calder Hart and Utica. And what happened to me? I was put out of the cabinet. The person who put me out regretted it.
And who's the person? Who is the person?
You see, the thing about it is this. What does Lekito have to do with you being put out of the cabinet?
Lekito is a place where you go and work Obia. Right?
And
he said,
when you walk Obia on somebody, what you just do? Is it what you just do some good to them or something like that?
That I told you, Rowley living on power. And the day he lost power, you're gonna see a night of silent mourning. This is a spiritual. Oh my gosh, God! I tell all you, we are dealing with a man who went and vote with limes. With some limes, God, we are dealing with a man. I'm very passionate because you know why? This country caused this on me, you know. This country caused this on me, you know. I thought that after this election, Trinidad would be a paradise today. Dr. Rowley said to his PNM supporters, they just call Patrick Manning the uncle of the nation. We call our mother, the mother of the nation. We have no problem calling Patrick Manning, okay, the uncle of the nation. But what Kamala do for 5 years could touch what Manning do in the 10 years. They don't talk about it. I want to say it again, and I dare anybody to prove me wrong. What Kamala do in 5 years could touch Manning what he do in the 10 years as Prime Minister. But, and I was asking Garth to explain the public about what is a cabinet. Dr. Rowley was a minister at that time. That's so. He was a minister. And Manning realized that this man is not to be trusted. Ask Ken Valley, he will tell you. Ask Ken Valley, wherever you are. Yeah, Manning will be saying this. You see? To say his son, join up with that. I hope his son going to on that. This, what we are seeing here, that Manning telling this country, that Rowley telling this country that he closed Manning eye. He are telling this country he closed Manning eye. This year, what Rowley said, that the person who put him out of cabinet regretted it. Who he was talking about? Who put out Rowley? No more doctor for you. Who put out Rowley out of cabinet? And why he used the word that he living close to Liquor. Whilst we in Trinidad here know that Liquor have skeletons and bones. Evil. We know the history. We hear the history. But you see today that they say when Jesus and what did man name?
Barabbas.
Who the pick?
Barabbas.
You see who the pick? This is upon you country, not upon Kingsley. God will guide me and protect me and bless me. Because I vote for good. I vote for betterment. I vote for a country to be clear from all evil. And that was Kamala Prasad Bisesa. Kamala Prasad Bisesa show all religion in this country love. All religion, Hindu, Muslim, Catholic, every function, you say, free the brothers, free the sisters. She helped them. She helped the pastors, the pope, the pundit. She helped them. And these same people who in church Sunday, they said, oh God, my God is a good God. And Monday, they went and vote for evil red. Sunday, they were saying, oh God, my God is a good God. And pray for this country, God. That's what they were saying in church. The Christians and them, we blame you too. And when you hear who they say prayers in night time, and when you're going down to your knees and saying, our Father, and you hear a man come out in the open, you never hear bars your pan, they say, Kamala, we do Kamala. You never hear Kamala, we should do bars your pan. But you hear frankly and clear. And as you see what take place with Patrick Manning, the former Prime Minister, the Honorable.
You see, now, eyeliner, the people, Rowley is very vulgar. He's very vile. He's very foul. He's a man really, he's totally out of control. And I really do not understand, seriously, you know, I do not understand how people could really vote for Keith Rowley. I mean, this man is a habitual liar. He's a notorious liar, and he has hired a man called Stuart Young, who is 10 times worse than him. Ladies and gentlemen, Stuart Young is 10 times worse than Keith Rowley. And that is why I am in full support of the opposition leaders' motion of no confidence in Stuart Young. As a matter of fact, I am in support of the UNC's boycotting of the Morning Brew program. And you need to stay tuned because, and I'm calling on some people, UNC supporters, you know, on Facebook, it have a set of Kamala warriors. You know the names of the groups and stuff?
Yeah.
What are the names of the Kamala warriors and
Kamala Patriot.
Kamala Patriots and all that?
Everything.
Let us see how many Kamala warriors and Kamala Patriots that there are really. Because I, Garth Christopher, as I told you maybe a couple of days ago, that sometime coming here during next week, please God, I will be going down with a placard. When? Monday, Tuesday?
No, Wednesday. Wednesday, we was advised Wednesday. We will confirm it Sunday because we are thinking.
I want to go down by CNC3.
Oh, CNC3. Well, Monday.
Monday morning, what time?
6 o'clock.
Ladies and gentlemen, I put in CNC3 and Natalie Lego and them on notice that Monday morning, 6 o'clock, Monday morning, God's willing, 6 o'clock. Until, how long the program is for? 6 until 7?
8, I think 8.
6 until 8. I will be down there with a placard. And I'm calling on Kamala patriots and Kamala warriors and all of them and UNC supporters. You have the weekend. Make up your placard. Nothing obscene and what have you. We know it's a peaceful protest and picket. We're going to picket Natalie Legore out of CNC3 and out of the country. And I'm telling you that Stuart Young better give Natalie Legore an exemption so that she could leave Trinidad and go back to Jamaica. If she doesn't leave Trinidad, certainly she must leave the Morning Brew and CNC3. Because this lady and CNC3, Guardian Media Limited, listen, you boycott show, you know. You are ridiculous. You are not nice. And you will pay for it. And everybody who is advertising with Guardian Media Limited, and especially if you're a supporter of the UNC, you need to stop. You need to put your money where your mouth is. You need to hurt Guardian Media Limited in their pockets, their bottom line. You need to stop advertising with them. Because what Natalie Legore did is a dangerous lie. It's a dangerous narrative. And with her arrogance and with CNC3's and Guardian Media's enablement, they have doubled down and they say Natalie Legore has done nothing wrong and they are on her side and they are not going to fire her. Well, I tell you, Guardian Media Limited, you are in for a very long haul. You are in for a very hot summer or even a very hot rainy season. Because we are going to picket you. We are going to boycott you. Come Monday, please God. And I'm calling on all Kamala warriors and all Kamala patriots to join us. It is going to be a peaceful, non-violent protest and picket, but we are going to go down there Monday morning at 6 o'clock.
And we are calling for 3 things. 3 things for Guardian Media to do. 3 things. 1, either they remove Natalie from 23. We are also calling for apologize. And we also are calling for a member of our party to come to do an interview with Natalie. Either the PRO or some MPs of the UNC. There are 3 things that we are going down there for Monday. Monday, 6 a.m. in the morning. We are going peacefully. We are going to show our disgust as how we as UNC supporters, because we love the party dearly, and most of all, we love our country, and we will never destroy this country. We UNC will never do nothing to destroy this country. So we call on you, UNC members. We call on you.
All the Kamala warriors and Kamala patriots.
For Monday, come in here. 6 o'clock. And Tuesday, I was now advised that Monday is election.
Oh yeah, the 25th. Tuesday.
And we wouldn't be able to deal with politics.
Tuesday.
Politics. So we have 2. We have Tuesday. We're going by CNC3. And Wednesday, we're going to support the no confidence motion outside of Parliament. Garth again put Kingsley on a lie test. I have a problem with that. I want to make it clear. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, the mother of this nation, the opposition leader of Trinidad and Tobago. Let's say that again. The opposition leader of Trinidad and Tobago never instruct Garth Christopher to hold no protest. Our leader, not of that. Kingsley of that, Garth of that. Our political leader, and I want to diss my political leader one time. Because some of us in the UNC hurt about what Natalie say about us. We as peaceful UNC supporters, and Tuesday, we will be going by 73. I know Sunday we could do our live before 12 o'clock, because when 12 o'clock mid-morning, we can talk about politics. But Sunday 7:30 is our next live together on No Borders. As I close that, I want to thank each and every viewers, the texts. I continue asking if you want to see me, because to put this together, to have a show so powerful on No Borders, it costs plenty money. And to bring me and God to have cameras to show clips, it plenty money it costs. And we are asking for a sponsor to have a program like every night. And God, we make it clear, we take position. We are UNC supporters, and we support our party dearly, and most of all, we love the mother of the nation. So I will say good night to all.
But before you go there, I mean, Monday's election, and I understand all of that about, you know, you carrying thinging and you ain't campaigning for nobody and stuff. But so we will do it Tuesday,
just for not for the
and I hear you distancing our political leader, and you are right for doing that, because you know she has never sent us out there. But sometimes, you know, sometimes I wish if our political leader
was like Rowley.
You understand what I'm
saying?
Like
Rowley.
No, not like Rowley. But you know, she would just, you know, she's so motherly and so
that's the mother of the nation.
Lawful. You know, she's so lawful and thing, you know what I mean? Now, we don't want her to change from being the kind of leader she is, you know.
Of course. No.
But you know, if she was a little rough a little bit now, you know. But ladies and gentlemen, we want you to understand that our political leader and even our MPs, you know, God, sometimes if our leader sometimes we should have some rough MPs too, but you know, it's all about law. But so we definitely want to distance and make it very, very clear that Kamala Prasad Bisesa she needs to know we're going to say this. And, I mean, hope we don't get in trouble.
So if we say that,
you know, but at the end of the day, you know, something must be done. Yes. And this is our doing, and we are calling on other supporters.
And we're so brave, we are wearing our UNC jersey.
Well, I'm a UNC.
I'm a UNC
and proud. So
if you don't want to wear a jersey, still come out. But we are wearing our UNC jersey on that day.
And quite honestly, I wish you would wear a UNC jersey.
I have 4.
You understand what I'm saying?
I have 4.
And so that's Tuesday, please God.
Yes.
And Wednesday, please God, we understand that there is a motion of no confidence. Yes. And we understand that Stuart Young done start to say to us, come down.
Yes.
Come down and support.
And who put on red and what to put on red and jersey.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very, very important motion of no confidence. And you have to remember, Rowley has appointed Stuart Young, and we done explain to you the kind of man.
As Gary Sobers, the butter.
We just showed you the kind of man Rowley is, and we are telling you Stuart Young is 10 times worse than Keith Rowley. And we are calling on you to come out Wednesday, please God. As a matter of fact, Sunday, please God, we will let you know exactly you know what is going to go on. But you need to come out. You need to come and support the opposition leader. You need to come out in your numbers. Don't worry, we go social distance, wear your mask and everything, because the PNM coming out. You know?
Yes, look, they don't get that. God, they ask the question. Well, I see we go on to 10 because we don't pass 9 already. God, we ask the question. They say our leader are weak. Our leader not fighting. But look, she shoot now. Politically, she shoot. Yes, we know. The no motion will fail because they have the majority of vote. But the opposition leader and the members, the 18 other members of parliament on the opposition side, is going to ask some permanent questions. And Stuart Young will have to answer the questions on them. What the UNC is going to ask. And if Stuart Young do not answer these questions, he will be embarrassed by this country. Because we want to know who gave him the right to tell our people do not come in this country.
Yeah, which law he's using? Because there certainly is no law.
There's a man bringing his daughter, bringing his daughter in this country. The daughter ain't living Trinidad. The daughter have the work in America.
The husband and the child.
The child. And he bringing that child and the daughter and the husband
with 8 other friends.
With 8 other friends. We was advised, the Prime Minister never denied us yet. We wait for him to deny it. She bringing a whole set of friends. Friends. Because you know why? I'm the Prime Minister's daughter. I can do what the hell I want in this country. Why is a dog coming after share? Remember a dog coming after share. After Dr. Rowley's daughter coming. But the question we want to ask tonight, why is people living in this country just went out to make $1, to pick apple, to do it to work in America, to come back home, to mind the family because they live in here. They did not know that this thing would happen to this country, to the world. They went and look for food to feed the children. Children in this country today, in Trinidad, and see the mothers and the fathers. There's mothers in this country today, and see the sons and the daughters who live in here. But Dr. Rowley's daughter, his loving daughter, oh, he loves she very much. He loves she dearly. And I'm happy for him. This daughter do not live in Trinidad. But we want to ask the question tonight. And we asking Dr. Rowley if Sonia is still a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. We want to know. We are asking questions. Kingsley don't come here to make no allegation, libel or scandal, nobody name, but I ask questions. And the Prime Minister, because she's a doctor, you want to know if she's on contract over there.
Perhaps she holds dual citizenship.
Oh, she holds dual citizenship. She could vote both ways then. She good.
Maybe she has a U.S. passport.
Maybe, but we want to know, because there's citizens over there who hold Trinidad and Tobago passport, not no dual citizen and card and white card, and they cannot come in this country. But Sonia, what she name is, get a free pass with 8 other friends. Dr. Rowley answered the question. And we also want to know, Garth, if Stuart Young, PS, Dr. Rowley answered the question in December. If Stuart Young, PS, get a big exemption, a VIP pass, and listen to me, they go say, we have a member who leave this country. I want to make it clear, our leader ain't leave this country at all. So if we have a member in the UNC who get exemption to this country, that is on he. That is not on the leader. Of course not. So because our leader set the example, she's not leaving here at all.
You see, and our query really is not about who leaves.
No.
It's not about who leaves.
We don't have a problem with that.
It's not about who leaves,
no.
Because as a matter of fact, if our citizens were allowed to come back in long time ago, we would not have been having this conversation, you know. So it's not a matter of who leave and who went and a UNC MP left and go and they want to make it out as well because
some people is asking where is a century tree. I already put now text me there and tell me there. So before we go, we can explain them century tree.
Right. You know, but they could call us.
Yes.
All right.
You could give them a number, Garth.
All right. Call me 321-045. Listen to me. Serious calls only.
Yeah.
All right. I take calls anytime. Serious calls. Don't call me and tell me, you know what I mean? Because the first thing you have to give me is your name and where you live in. And anytime you call me, give me your name and where you live in and then tell me you're coming. I take in a roll call.
Yeah.
I go with a book. This one say they come in. And anytime I take your number and anything I come in and I shine in here after because me ain't this thing no more. I shine in here. You call me, my number is 321-0455.
321
serious phone call.
0455.
Serious call. This is concerning warfare. This is when I mean warfare, not no violent protests and stuff. I am talking about political warfare.
Yeah.
All right. We're going down by CNC 3 to protest this girl Natalie Lego, and then we have a serious protest for
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Most likely Wednesday.
There is emotion of no confidence.
Yes.
All right. So these are the two activities that we are going to be engaged in, and I want to
so
mobilize.
Archie, could you put up Garth number on the thing, please?
0455.
And put his name
serious
on it.
Calls only. Else don't call Garth Christopher.
So all want to know where
right.
CNC 3 is. They're going to call Garth Christopher number 321-0455. 321-0455. Garth Christopher. Again, 321-0455. So this is about our peaceful protests by CNC3 and by the Parliament. Garth will be answering all the calls. So Garth, as we have a few minutes to go again, about 10 minutes I get to go again before 10 o'clock. We finish at 10 o'clock. We was going until 9:30, but good. But the plan about we who is UNC supporters. Remember, it's not Monday again. We cancelled Monday because we was advised that Monday is election, and they might say that we're going on the day with UNC jersey to push politics. So we are saying that Tuesday is the better day for 6 a.m. We are asking for two UNC supporters, and we know there's people in our own party might want to go down there, right? But we show you some clips how PNM people behave from 2010, 2015. I have to say it so. They make Kamala life ungovernable. They make the people partnership. They do all kind of madness to say this and that. Email gate. Section 34, Ram Logan must go, Jack Warner must go, Sujan Chana must go, Dr. Mudia must go. So why now? UNC is time to put fire in your belly. Together we can. Together we can. It is time to put fire in your belly, UNC supporters. Do not be afraid of PNM no more. Kingsley at on the side.
You see,
we are going to lead this charge.
You see, what is very important too is on that day of the motion of no confidence, and I really want to call on some PNM MPs. I'm telling you, two in particular. Keith Scotland.
Waste of time.
Keith Scotland. I mean, you're a lawyer, man. You're a lawyer. You stood up for justice and certain things. You can't allow a man like Stuart Young to cause you to go into Parliament, don yourself.
Sad.
Don yourself, Mr. Skeet Cutland.
Very sad.
Great attorney at law and lecturer, law lecturer. And a man whom I know can teach Stuart Young and Faris Al-Rawi the law of Trinidad and Tobago. As a matter of fact, you more qualified to be Attorney General than both of them put together. I can't understand how a man like you will don yourself in your real, nice gray suit, white shirt, and red tie, and go into the parliament and support Stuart Young for this man's punishment of our citizens who are abroad, denying them their constitutional right of the enjoyment of their property and their right to come back in their own country. I can't see you going inside a parliament and supporting that, Mr. Keith Scotland. So that is one of the PNM MPs I want to, really deal with. And another one is Mr. Brian Manning. I know, Mr. Brian Manning, you're on your mission, maybe to become the leader of the PNM or what have you and stuff like that. And I don't know if you're there and you're trying to really, upset Rowley or what have you, but let me tell you something, partner. You can't really sit down in our parliament and support a man like Keith Rowley. Remember, you supporting, you putting on, you going in parliament, Brian Manning, and supporting Stuart Young is really supporting Keith Rowley, because Keith Rowley is the man who put him there, and he is doing Keith Rowley's bidding. He's doing Keith Rowley's bidding within the politics. And you can't really know that Keith Rowley is the man who did your father that. Keith Rowley told the world, Brian Manning, that he gave your father a stroke. And he even said that he wanted to, he going to honor Manning, and he never even did it. Your mother, and I don't want to bring in, the thing, but it's in the politics. While your mother allowed Basdio Pandey to visit Patrick Manning in the hospital, your mother, and I guess you were the side of your mother, you agreed with your mother, I believe, to blank Keith Rowley from going and see your father when he was in the hospital.
On the line bed, the line days.
Brian Manning, how could you really allow yourself to support Keith Rowley and supporting Stuart Young in that motion of no confidence is really supporting Keith Rowley? Brian Manning, I'm asking you, brother, I'm asking you, do not support Stuart Young in that motion of confidence.
Do not make nothing. Can I call?
Don't do it.
And
just don't do it. It's time you all just give Keith Rowley what he deserves. Give Keith Rowley what he deserves.
Got I is begging and pleading to Brian Manning to do not make no contribution in the no confidence motion against Stuart Young.
He can't support that.
You know something? I see an article with Brian Manning supporting Dr. Rowley on the health. You see that article? Defending him 100%. Privacy. He need that privacy because he's Prime Minister. I say, oh my gosh. And you was right, Garth. You was right. When you tell this country tonight that Miss Hazel Manning, a loving mother, a loving sister, when she deny the blackest man of this country to see the former Prime Minister Patrick Manning May God rest him soul wherever you are. May God rest him soul wherever you are. She turned her back on Rowley, Miss Hazel Manning. She turned her back and showed disgust because she know she have an idea or she had the facts that what Dr. Rowley saying is truth. He went like a toe to close Manning eye politically in the politics. Today, there's no one Manning in the politics because Dr. Rowley tell this country that he went like a toe. We see on TV that time he went, you know something, God, before I go. When Dr. Rowley was talking to Manning funeral, Dr. Rowley said that one time he and the former Prime Minister Manning was going to Tobago, and I think as the handy boy or somebody disrespect the chief. That time they so-called Manning the chief. This is a chief. Some hand boy, bag boy, disrespect the chief Manning. He said, boss, that Rowley say, I the clipper. He said, boss, how you gonna make this black boy? Well, he said it that way, but how you gonna make this boy disrespect you? Hey, how rough Manning was. He was a gentleman, eh? Manning turned around and tell Dr. Rowley, where Dr. Rowley, Manning, how you gonna take that? He talk to you, you're the Prime Minister or the opposition leader, you're the boss, you're the chief. Manning turned around and tell him, I take no insult, I give no insult. That was Manning words to Dr. Rowley. I take no insult, I give no insult. Why Dr. Rowley want to bite off with the rat rider behavior, bite off the handy boy neck for Mobby roughing up at the Manning. So doing something wrong because he didn't say what the boy do. He also said when it's vacation time, Manning used to instruct his MPs, don't take no vacation. Rowley said that at Manning funeral. I have the tape. He said, I used to rebel. Manning also said to wear one suit to Parliament. He said, mad, all suit I buy. He never say when he suit and he coach in neck. He tell Manning, all suit I buy there. We want me to do them suit of them. Man say, hey, we have to be professional. Wear one suit to Parliament. I don't know what suit.
One color.
Right? He said no. So Rowley was always a destruction to Manning and this country. So God, I say good night to the viewership. It's my cousin comment here. It was very nice. I look forward again Sunday 7:30 to see all these wonderful viewership again and all these texts coming in and good. So good night to this country. Please have a peaceful night. And we continue living in love, continue pushing love, because this country, after all, we must say God loves this country and He will protect us from all evil.
And I'm calling on all the UNC warriors and UNC patriots. Remember, at the end of the day, we have to take the fight to the PNM. The PNM is not going to roll over and die. Okay? We have to take the fight to the PNM. We got to put some fire in your belly. All right? And if you say you're a patriot, Kamala warrior, UNC and proud and that kind of stuff, it's time for your words to start taking on action. All right? So as you go, you remember my number is 321-0455. Very serious calls only. Don't call and
sit against no God.
All right? 321-0455, 321-0455. Call me. Serious calls only. If you're not serious, don't call me. If you call me and you give me your name, I'm taking your name, taking your number, and anytime you don't show up, because I'm taking a roll down there, I'm going to come and I'm going to expose you. Don't call me again. All right? This is time for us.
If we do this
is time for us. And you know something? I just wish I could have said, MPs, send some people, but I can't do that. All right? So, thank you very much and have a good night. Bye-bye.